Okay, we're looking at similarity and the percent applications test. This is so that you can do your test corrections. Your corrections are to be done on that green paper. All right, the cost to download a normal movie costs $15. New release movies cost $18 to download. What is the percent of increase? So here's the clue. Anytime you see words that say percent of increase, percent of decrease, or percent change, I know that I need to use the formula of difference over original. If I do that division, I'm going to get a decimal, and then I have to multiply by 100 to get my percent. So the difference between 15 and 18, $3. Then my original cost was 15. I'm going to go ahead and simplify. 3 goes into 3 one time, 3 goes into 15 5 times. So I have 1/5. Now I can change 1/5 into a decimal. If you don't already know what that is, do the division. 5 does not go into 1, so I added 0 and a decimal. 5 into 10 is 2. 0.2 is the decimal equivalent. Then I multiply by 100, which means I'm moving my decimal to the right twice. That's 20%. So the correct answer here was B. So now look at your work, if you have some, which you should, and decide where did you go wrong. Don't just copy. Okay, figure out what you did wrong, and that is what goes here in this last column on your test correction sheet. Okay, it needs to be specific to what you did incorrectly. Okay, number 2 says Jordan and Jason go to a restaurant for dinner. The total of their meals was $35. Total was $35. The local tax is 9%. How much change will they receive if they pay with $50 bill? If you just subtract these, that's not going to be okay, because it's not just 35 that they're spending 9% extra. So if you want, you can set up a proportion by setting up your percent bar. 9% is way down here, and it's the total of $35. What this does is it just helps me set up my proportion. Do I want to keep it that way? Sure. X over 9 equals 35 over 100. You can simplify, but here, guess what I'm going to do? I am instead going to find what 10% is. Why? Because I can, and because I have multiple choices to choose from. And so 10 to 100 is multiplying by 10, but I am going to need to go backwards, so I'm dividing by 10. Everybody see where that goes? Divide by 10 here, divide by 10 there. My 10% is $3.50. Now again, that is a rounded answer because I'm finding 10%. But if I'm going to add $35 to find my total cost that I've spent, that's $38.50. Now, can I look at my answer choices and see? Of course I can. However, I am not finished, because it says how much change will they receive if they pay with a $50 bill. So just because I've done part of it, I probably would have picked answer B, but you have to get into the habit of going back and reading and making sure that what you're doing is correct. So again, I estimated by finding my 10% answer, I got $3.50. Added that together. This is my total of what I've spent on dinner. Now I want to know how much change. So I need to take $50 and I am subtracting $38.50 from that. 0. 10, that's 5. Bring down your decimal. That's 1 and that's 1. $11.50. So even though I've estimated, there is an answer choice that makes the most sense, and that is the $11.85 worth of change. All right. Now let's look at number 3. Number 3, y'all didn't do that hot on. Ms. Brown took her family to eat at Cheddar. She left $4 as 20%. That tells me that $4 is equal to 20%. How much was the bill, including tip? This is another one of those two-step problems. So let's go ahead and set up my percent bar. 0, 100%. It says $4 is 20%. So this is 20%, and it equals $4. And I'm solving for my total. So I know that I can go from 100 to 20 by dividing by 5. Oh, but that's not the direction I need, so I'm going to the right, which means I'm multiplying by 5, going from 20 to 100. 4 times 5, $20. Now, of course, that's an answer choice, but is that what they want? I always need to reread. It says the family went to eat. She left $4 as a tip. How much was the bill including tip? So at this point, you need to look at your work and decide, did you pick A because you stopped working? If so, all you have to do is reread. So $20 plus my $4 tip, we're looking at $24. The answer choice was D. And the last question here on the first page. If Miss Bergdorf wants to leave an 18% tip on a $15 meal, it says which proportion cannot be used to figure out how much tip? This is what I would do. I would be setting up a percent bar to help. Notice, every question I've solved so far includes me making a percent bar, unless it was the percent of increase question. 18%, so whatever, 18% goes here. And it says on a $15 meal. So my meal is the 100%. Now I go ahead, move this over so that I can see what my proportion looks like. And I spoke to some of you about this. Here's the clue or the key to this. You set up the way you would set up your proportion. Chances are you're not going to find that exact proportion, but what you need to look for is that x and 100 are diagonal from each other. Here's x and 100 diagonal. Here's x and 100 diagonal. That is not x and 100. So keep going. Here's x and 100. Now, some people might have picked this question, but I want to review, or excuse me, this answer, but I want to just make sure. It says which proportion could not be used. Okay, good. This one can be used because it has x and 100 diagonal. This one could be used. Letter C is the only one that doesn't have the right numbers diagonally. Now, do all the others match up exactly with what I've done? No. In fact, letter A is the only one that is exactly like how I wrote it. But letter B is able to work, and so is letter D. Okay, just remember what you have set up on the diagonal, and that's what it's got to be.